us. The ultimate showdown is here. Join us at Ashili Sports as we deliver to you the highly anticipated Champions League game between Manchester City and Real Madrid. Going into this game, we all know what is really going on with both clubs. They are not of best form. They are not of that form that we are looking out for. But then all of them have something to actually talk about. All of them have something to complain about. All of them defensively, they are not good enough. But then offensively, we cannot talk much. And so with me is Eddie and also Nana Kwame. And today we are going to deliver to you the most anticipated Champions League game tomorrow. And we'll be talking to do aside from this match, we'll be talking about other games as well, and also the stories, latest stories of football world or sports news for you. And hey, Charlie, welcome to the Eddie and Nana Kwame.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, my brother.
So, what do you think, Nana Kwame? You being a massive Real Madrid fan, what do you think about the game today? Just a surface of what you think before we go into much details into the games.
Yes, it's yet another classic, and the best man is going to win. Madrid facing injury problems has made them have dip in form. Same situation having Rodri out of the picture for quite a while has Man City also struggling because Pep Guardiola made it clear that his one of his strongholds is Rodri, and I've heard in the news that he's coming back. He's been listed as part of the next coming matches. So if he shows, I think that will be a big, massive improvement for Man City.
That will be a massive improvement for Manchester City. Eddie, what do you actually think about this game as well? Just a surface then before we actually get into details of this game.
Also, thank you very much for, I think, giving us the platform. Yeah, all, as football fans, we are all excited when it comes to Champions League. When you hear Champions League, you have this excitement in mind that I think you're going to witness good games. And these two clubs, we've known them for several years. They all have quality players. They enter these two clubs meet, they showcase their talent. But it's unfortunate. I think that was yesterday, the Madrid debut. A defender for Madrid also has been injured, and now their defenders is like five defenders. They have five solid defenders been injured. So going to this game, Madrid is not that favorite as we used to know. And on the other hand, for Manchester City too, this season they've been. I don't even have the right way to describe them. They've been there. They don't put out that performance that we expect from them. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on around these two clubs. But to me, I think tomorrow the best side will win because Pep Guardiola is a good manager. Tomorrow he can surprise Real Madrid. So Madrid should watch out for a very interesting and fantastic game. But the best will definitely win. As Madrid, favorites of Champions League, they have the upper hand in the game.
So Madrid as the favorites, they have upper hand in this game. Are you sure of that? Because there's a new injury list into the Madrid team as well. Because I heard one of their defender have actually got injured again. Maybe Nana Kwame, probably you could give us insight into that breakdown.
Okay, so our regular starting defenders used to be or are Eddie Militao and Rudiger. So Rudiger got injured. Militao, we already know for some time now, he's been injured. Even Tuchemeni, also who was as a replacement or not a natural centre back, was also fighting. Was put in this position to help strengthen our defense, and he's done quite well. Lucas Vasquez at the right back got injured, so they have to find a replacement. Um, it's left with Garcia, on the left back. So basically, we've introduced Asensio. I don't know if I'm getting the name right, but
Asensio,
this
yeah.
is the new centre back, young upcoming guy who Madrid's hopes are on in our defensive work against City. To be honest with you, the reality is this is an inexperienced kid, and our defense is going to be a big problem for us against City in this game. We know the firepower of attack that City has with the introduction of Omar Mamouche. That guy is a lightning player. So this is how our defensive situation is looking like, and it's rather sad. But let's hope for the best as a Madrid fan.
Let's hope for the best as Madrid fan because this game is actually a game of thrones and a game of massiveness for everyone. And I think in going forward, it's going to be actually serious one for sure. And going into this game is between Pep Guardiola and also Ancelotti. And this couple of teams have met like several times. As we all are aware, they have met in several games, and we all know the outcome of the game as well. So I don't know. We have key players to actually watch here. Simon, these two coaches, tactically, who do you think? Oh, I'm going for Eddie. Okay, let me go. Anyone will answer. Tactically, which coach is better off between these two sides?
All right. So if you're talking of, I think individual coaches, they are all excellent. This one is basically in Europe, and this one is basically in Spain. And I think they've all the clubs they've managed. They've left a trademark. They've left excellence. Like they live. I don't even So I think if you have to compare them, I think they are all good in their way. And tomorrow, they put. I think the information you're going to play will determine your like you, you are way or your way forward. That's always the key thing. The information you are playing, your current information you are playing in a game is what will determine whether you are winning or you are losing. Supposing you are playing, you don't have a striker in the game, you are expecting your defenders to score for you. It's going to be difficult. You know, they have to always come forward to get the goal or to get you the win. But if you have the strikers, the defender, the midfielder, everything is intact, I think you are good to go. So tomorrow, as Ancelotti always been the calm manager, like always with his guy on the touchline. It's always like perfect to watch Ancelotti over there. But I think tomorrow Ancelotti will do his thing because these two clubs, as you said, they played several times. Almost like I think 5 times or so. Madrid with two wins with two draws. I think City with like one win. So all things in favor of Manchester. I think Real Madrid. But tomorrow, let's see. If Pep
Well,
will put 10 things around, we don't know. But yeah.
let's see how things could turn around for sure because we all know that these two clubs are really into each other, and as you said, these two coaches they are all of different caliber of coaches. We all know at a brighter day what they are going to do, but specifically, Simon, we are going into details of this team. We know that the key players to watch in this game, Eden Haaland. City have Eden Haaland. They have Savino. I don't know whether they will use Savino or not. They have Doku. They have Grealish. Grealish, prior to this game, is like he'll be able to feature the game. But the likes of Real Madrid have the likes of Kylian Mbappe, Vinicius Junior, Rodrigo. Comparing these two forward, these key players. I don't know what are you expecting from these players.
Okay, so it's nice to always have star players in your team or players who are regarded highly in Europe. But having quality players is different, or is a different thing as to having a good team. So the team we are talking about here is the chemistry between these players. You can have the Galacticos of the world or the world best 11 or 12, whatever it be. if the chemistry or these players don't gel well, if they don't gel well, it's then it leads to zero results. So on the side of Madrid, since the introduction of Mbappe, Ancelotti is clearly struggling to find a position or a tactical play to suit the introduction of Mbappe as he being the center forward. And I think he's still not figured it out. Probably that is from my angle because we are struggling to score goals. We have lightning players like Vinicius, Rodrigo, Bellingham, Mbappe himself. In the absence of Mbappe, we won a Champions League. Let's all remember, we won the Champions League, and I think we had found our style of play. We had found a way which each of the players in the name of Rodrigo, Vinicius and Bellingham had a chemistry which was working. But the introduction of Mbappe has led to a factory reset that the coach has to find a way to fit him and get performance of all these four guys, which is a difficult thing to do. On the side of City, I think they have old players which they are all used to. Their problem has only been the absence of a few key players. Probably I'll say De Bruyne, who just came but is not even having a consistent game time, and Rodri, who is also coming back into the picture. The introduction of Omar Mamouche is a big plus for City. So tactically, it's hard to pick between these two. But I think with the players each team are working with right now, I would say Guardiola has a upper hand because he's still working with most of his old players. And in the presence of Omar Mamouche, it doesn't really change anything that much. Although he's still figuring out how to use the other two because he has Savino, he has Doku, he has Bernardo Silva. He's struggling. He's not had a consistent performance with whatever lineups he puts up. He puts up every day, but I think he's getting there. On the other side for Ancelotti, it's still a struggle. So it's going to be a really difficult game for both coaches. But as we said, the best team that will have things working for them tomorrow would perform.
The best team that will have things working for them tomorrow will perform. Now, let's look at Eddie.
Yeah.
Ruben Diaz, City defender, actually said something that I want to share with the public and you guys too. I want to know your opinion on that. He said for them to actually stop City from scoring because they know defensively, we know defensively both teams are not like good enough currently. So Ruben Diaz put it out that before they will win this game, they need to put a stop to Vinicius Junior. Vinicius Junior is a threat to them. And Pep Guardiola wasn't sure of what he was. So there's some kind of a argument or some kind of story between these two, according to the story. But then, do you think he was right at that point?
All right, so I think as a defender, he has his own point of view. And any defender has their own nightmare. So I think his nightmare basically is Vinicius Junior. So he just went straight to the point that if they will be able to win the game, they have to stop Vinicius Junior. And put in mind, Vinicius Junior is not the only striker in Real Madrid. I think this time around, Bellingham is scoring, assisting. If you check the tally, he has like a perfect tally this season, a perfect start this season. Rodrigo, you know, on the other hand, is also scoring. Vinicius scoring. And I think the other guys are also scoring. They are all like the Madrid team. You can't only point out one player, but Vinicius has been like one of the guys. Anytime he gets the ball, he try to come directly to the players. You know, give worries to defenders. So I think he made his point of view, but I think Pep Guardiola too, as the coach or as a lineman, will also get his own point of view of the game. So let's see. I think as we said earlier on, it will basically based on the formation that they are going to play. If Vinicius has the chance, I think with a lesser defender over there against him, he will definitely pass through and like anyhow assist Mbappe, give the ball to the defenders to probably score. You know, he like that connection. Anytime he dribbles the ball into the 18-yard ball, definitely he's going to pass or he's going to try on his own. So I think they have to find a solution to that. But if they get a solution to that, and put in mind, and slowly also find a solution to switch the play of Vinicius to fit into the play. Yeah, so I think tomorrow there's a lot of things to consider. There's a lot of things to consider. But I think tomorrow the best will win. The best will win the
All of you keep on saying the best team is gonna win. The best
Yeah,
team is
because it's
gonna win.
hard to tell,
But
you know.
yeah, it's hard to tell. But then what I want us to prior to this game, I think
game.
City struggled to qualify. It was the last game that they tried to win. Even last game, they were very, very lucky because Club Brugge was actually leading the game. Then
They
they
had the
came
first
back
goal.
in the second half to win it by 3 goals to 1. And they qualify. Other than that, they wouldn't qualify, or they wouldn't even qualify to play this playoff. But Real Madrid is just this season not good enough because prior we were thinking these two teams they must be in the automatic qualification tally for both clubs, but then it didn't happen. So, Nana Kwame, will you say like this current form? Do you think any of this club can go ahead to win the Champions League?
Wow. A good question. A good question, but difficult to answer. I wouldn't say so because both teams are struggling, as we've already mentioned, and they are struggling badly. Just look at the side of City. The run they went on a losing run, which was so unbelievable and so not called of, so uncalled of. How do you call it? Guardiola, you know, we are not used to Guardiola losing matches back to back. No, especially when he has quality players available to him. You know, my question on Guardiola's side, I've always questioned uh, um, his capabilities because he's throughout his career he's always had the best players. Anytime he goes to clubs, they give him the best players he needs. You know, he calls for players, he wants this, and they get it for him. I've not yet seen him in a situation where he has not had quality players to work with. That is where I would want to, you know, see from Guardiola's side if he is really the tactical coach I know him to be. So with City struggles, I don't see them getting to the final. Same as Madrid. I'm a Madrid fan, but I have to be honest. With the defensive set of players we have now, it is not enough. It is not enough. We are struggling in La Liga. We are even we struggled in Champions League, conceding so many goals. So imagine coming up against the likes of Bayern Leverkusen, Liverpool, and the likes, Atalanta. That would be very devastating for Madrid. So these two teams I don't see as prospects for the final.
As prospect for the finals for sure. And guys, if you just join us and you are new, remember to hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And hey, your opinions are highly welcome. Let's know in the comment section your opinions as well. But before we move on, I want to tell you something about these two clubs, about the match for sure. Because just let me just read it out to you guys. First of all, about the match. Manchester City is playing home against Real Madrid in Etihad Sports Stadium on Tuesday. That is tomorrow, 11th February. And this is round of 32 of the Champions League final stage. So they need to play the round of 32. So if you lose, you have to, it's home and away. So if you lose, you are out of the competition. And this is a tight game between Real Madrid and Manchester City. When we all know these two have been meeting a couple of times in this Champions League. And sometimes we'll take you to the prediction lineup available for the match in a few days in advance, while the actual lineup will be available about an hour. So we'll try to give you our own prediction into this game as well. And so you should keep in touch with us. Probably there's more to come and there's a lot of things to come. And we all know that Real Madrid created walking Champions League suspensions tied rope. So, and we also know that Madrid has suffered another defensive injury blow ahead of Manchester City clash. We just spoke about that one as well. And Manchester City predicted lineup, as I said, we'll give you a predicted lineup before we go into other stories. There are a lot of stories actually pertaining into this game, and we'll also take you into different stories because yesterday Barcelona won against Sevilla by so many goals, 4 goals to 1, and then the clash. The suspected Tottenham Hotspurs, we all know what happened to them. They are out, and Liverpool too are out of the FA Cup as well. And you will guess the team that actually knocked them out of the competition. So Nana, or I'm going to Eddie. Yeah, Eddie. Well, let's look at. I think Haaland has not been speaking much because looking at his record this season, it's not that bad. But because City is not winning games, a lot of people think Haaland is not doing quite very well. And when you compare the league, the entire league in Europe, I think he's doing quite well. 26 goals in the season. Or is it 20? Yeah, 26 goals in the season. I think it's not that bad compared to, I think it's only Lewandowski, and then I think Mohamed Salah too is not, doesn't have goals more than him this season as we speak right now. So, what do you make up of Haaland performance for sure this season? Because people don't talk much about that one.
Anytime and Haaland is like a boss to boss striker. Anytime Manchester City is winning, you see him the goals will count for him. But since he gets like I think we almost half of the season is gone. And for him to get like 26, I think last season, let's all be frank with ourselves. Last season, the goals were coming, they won the league. And both in Champions League and I think the Premier League, the domestic league as well. It was like he was like everywhere. Anytime City is winning, he will give you like 3 goals in the game. He was scoring like I think 3 goals per game, or even more. So I think this time around, you can see it's very. So that's why people don't even as I know. Each and every weekend I play this. How do you call this FPL? I saw Haaland. I think in game 5 or game 6. That was when I saw Haaland in my FPL. Before he was giving us points, he was scoring for us. But because the goals are not coming anymore, we have to sell him out for Chris Wood. For Chris Wood. Yeah, that's it. To be frank with you, so I think this season Haaland has been silent, but I think he has to do something about it. If not, that's gradually going silent. You go silent for one season like this. The next season, if team doesn't work for City again, you'll be silent. Then Haaland that we used to know will just fade away. If it doesn't get any better club to go again, then I think that will be all. But I think things will be good. Things will be good for Manchester City. If not this season, next season is there. Yeah.
If not this season, next season is there. And I think it's something that we can actually work out for sure. Nana, give us tactically decisions that both coaches are going to be making in tomorrow's game because there are a lot of things that could be happening. Both have defensive problems, but the tactical decisions is always something that we need to actually look into going into that game.
I think tactical wise is going to be an open game. I don't think both teams are going to sit and watch the other play unless otherwise one team pins down the other. One team is piling the pressure on the other that one can't get out of their box. So tactically, City for the past 4 games or so we've had with City, they always have more possession than we do because uh, Guardiola is a possession coach. He wants to have the ball. He wants to keep the ball because he's always preached that possession is a part of defense. Possessing the ball is part of you defending the game. So the more you have the ball, the more you reduce the chances of your opponent um, having the ball and also creating chances. So tactically, we are in City's home, so it's more likely they are going to what possess the ball and pile up pressure on Madrid. And it's unfortunate that Madrid's defense is not to standard, both through the wings and through the middle. So it's I can't even imagine how these caliber or quality of players or quality of attack um, Man City possess would be abusing our defense. That is what I don't even want to start thinking about. But that is how the game will be looking like from the angle of Man City. On the side of Madrid, I think Madrid would also have to come out and play. But since City will be possessing the ball more, then they will be forced to defend. They will be forced to defend, and the more they defend, the more City will create chances. And the scary part is if Madrid tries to open up and put pressure or try to attack City, they have to also be careful not to expose their defense because their defense is not strong enough. So I see tactical wise, I see Madrid suffering in the game tomorrow. Madrid is really going to suffer. We have to probably some miracle is going to happen that our four defenders from the right backs, the left and right backs to the center backs would produce some class of performance that City would struggle to, to beat us. But it's always going in the direction of City from my side.
So always going in the direction of Manchester City. Hey, there's is going to be serious soon. Because this game for me, I like last Champions League for sure. It was Manchester City was knocked out by Real Madrid, and this time round, maybe let's see how this is gonna work out. Because for me, I always think these two sides, anything is going to happen, and anything is going to be, it's all out, it's all round. We know how
No, I
this
think
game
you
is going.
do you want to say there will be a revenge tomorrow? Just go straight to the point. Not
But clearly, yeah, clearly that's what I'm thinking. Every big club will not sit down for you to score them first one, second one, and even third one. It's going to be a very difficult game for sure. And when it comes to Pep Guardiola and Ashili, we always know Pep Guardiola ended up overthinking and accelerated takes the basic and win the game. This time around, it's home and away. It's rather fortunate that this game is going to play in a Etihad Sports Stadium. So Eddie, City playing at home, what kind of advantage do they have over Real Madrid because of the first leg at home? Or what will Real Madrid have advantage over City of playing away as a first game? So both questions, you can combine it for me.
all right. So the only advantage Manchester City has is for them to win their
But
first
before
leg.
you
Let
continue,
yeah,
Simon, anything, if you want to come in, you can just come in if you
yeah,
put a hand.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. The only advantage Manchester City has is them playing home as the first leg. So this is the only chance for them to win the game because if they fail to do so, they won't get the opportunity to do a comeback or do anything in Bernabeu. Because the last game will be like a die hard, like a do or die for Real Madrid in Bernabeu in the Bernabeu Stadium. So if they want to do anything, they should win the game with huge margin of goals. If they get opportunity tomorrow to win Madrid by I think 5 goals to 1, 5 goals to 2, they should do so like Madrid do to them.
Mhm.
But if not, then I think City won't be able to qualify. Yeah, that's the only thing I would say.
So who has the advantage of playing away and home as a first leg?
Madrid have the advantage of playing away for the first leg. That's the only thing.
Simon, do you
Yes,
agree?
it's that is the Champions League. It's always best, or every team wishes to play at home last. That is in the second leg because you fight your way in the first leg. Then the second leg, you are coming home, so you try to take care of business there. And as Eddie said, City has to take care of business in their home, which I believe they will do, and the rest they leave it up to the Bernabeu to decide. So if City is not going to do justice as you know, as we are exposed or as we are vulnerable at this moment, I think comparing player to player, defensive wise, they have an upper hand over us. So they should at least be able to absorb our players. Ruben Diaz made mention of Vinicius because of his past experience. Let's not forget how the kind of goals Vinicius has scored against this fantastic Man City defense. Even that was when they had all their set of players available. So City should be able to handle our attack defensive wise. But the question here is, can Madrid's defense handle the likes of Erling Haaland, Savinho, Doku, Omar Mamouche, Bernardo Silva, Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, whoever is called up to the lineup, Jack Grealish and the rest, whoever is called up to the lineup, look at the quality of players I'm mentioning. Can Madrid, the state of our defensive team or defensive players now, can we handle them for 90 minutes? That is the question. For 90 good minutes. So they have to take care of business, because if they don't take care of business now, probably getting back into Bernabeu, we might have some of our defenders, if not all our defenders, back, and we can prove something there.
Yeah, you can prove something there for sure.
And
But then,
Bernabeu might also be loud for them. The atmosphere might be loud for them.
yeah, but you
Los
need to also
Blancos.
remember that Tony Rudiger too is not available
Yes,
in
and
that
even
game as
Alaba.
well.
Yeah,
Alaba is not available.
development you talked about was Alaba. I forgot to make mention of it. So Alaba was back in the team and was likely to start in this match, but he caught up another injury. So it's just sad for Madrid right now.
It's just sad for Madrid right now. So Eddie, take us through the lineup of like the line. What do you expect about the lineup of City? So that or maybe both clubs. Then you will give us your lineup of both clubs. Then Simon too will give us his lineup. Then we will just go into other stories.
All right, just a minute. Let me see if I can get you the squad. Yeah. So I think with the forward of let me start with the goalkeeper. I think as usual, Ederson will be in the goalpost for Manchester City. And I think with the defense, uh Jasco Guardiola will be there. I think maybe
That
he'll
is
feature
possible lineup. Yeah,
that's a
it's
possible
not
lineup.
confirmed. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
your own point of view, like just give us your own point of view that you
Yeah, then
think
I think
probably.
probably he will feature Mas Allen, then Rico Lewis also will be there. I think Manuel Akanji will be there. Then I'll be the back four for them. Then with the midfield, I think he's going to definitely Kevin De Bruyne will be there. Ike Gundogan will also be there. Bernardo Silva will be there. Then Savinho will be there. Then probably if there's the likelihood he will play, I think maybe Phil Foden. Yeah, then I think Erling Haaland. Then maybe when there is any substitution, then Obama Mo will just come in. I think that will be the lineup for Manchester City. Yeah, that's a possible lineup. Yeah, so don't get me wrong. Mm,
Exactly.
mm. And with Madrid, I think you all know Thibaut Courtois will be the goalpost for them. Yeah, there's no choice about that. And
Mhm.
since they have, I think, defensive crisis, we can see Frank Garcia might be there for them. Then, if possible, I think that Raul Asensio also be there. Then maybe David Jimenez might also be there for them. Then, uh, then I think Jesus Fortia, and I don't know if I'm right with the name. Jesus Fortia might also be there. Then Jude of Eden Fast, I think in all cases will also be there. Then Federico Valverde, Then maybe I think he's not going to start Modric. Maybe he will come back later part in the game, maybe the second half or so, or that maybe 10-15 minutes for him will be enough. Then Antonio Moreno, I think also be there. Then Vinicius, Kylian Mbappe, Rodrigo. Then yeah, I think that will be the lineup for Madrid. Yeah. So that I think Madrid will go by the 4-4. I think 4-4-3.
Yeah, okay. Madrid will play as a 4-4-3. So before we Simon, before I come to you about the lineup, I just want to make it clear that whilst Real Madrid form is coming, like, and then injuries are setting back at their defense, it looks like City is actually falling apart, and inconsistency in their games are actually making it a great deal for them. And for the last past game, five games both played, City actually lost two and win three, and Real Madrid won four and drew one. They also won three, lost one, and also drew one. So, and that is how it looks for them this season. So when you look at statistically, I think Real Madrid still have upper hand than City. Just the problem is the injury setup in Madrid team, Madrid defense. Simon, your lineup of that season before we go to the other stories.
Yeah, so let's remind ourselves before I give the lineup that Champions League has no nothing to do with the form of a team. You know, though we are making mention of the form of these two teams, and I have even taken them out of the possibility of getting to the final. There's been seasons where Madrid has been worse in La Liga, but still gone forward to win the Champions League. So Champions League is always full of surprises. So let's look out for that. Okay, so for the City lineup, Ederson undoubtedly is the number one goalkeeper, and he's 100% going to feature from my side of view. Ruben Diaz definitely. Guardiola is a favorite player of Pep
Pep
Guardiola.
Guardiola.
Pep
So
Guardiola, yeah.
yeah, he's definitely going to feature him. He loves the game of this guy.
Yeah, now
Um,
I don't mean to interrupt, but I think he has also given Manchester City, I think, a couple of goals that they deserve. A
yeah,
defender like of such caliber,
caliber.
yeah, always in the, I think,
Exactly.
He, he,
He's
he,
always
he
in
produced.
front.
reminds he reminds me of Ashili. A
Mm-hmm.
defender who always be at the box to
Yeah.
assist and score
You
goals.
see him, yes. You
Yeah.
see him in the 18-yard box almost every time or around it.
Yeah, and he recover very quickly when he loses the ball. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. So in support is supporting center back for Ruben Diaz. Ruben Diaz definitely going to feature. Uh, I think I'm picking John Stones. Yeah, John Stones, and since they don't have Kyle Walker at the moment, it's likely he's going to start probably Nathan Ake. Yes, Nathan Ake on the right back. So John Stones, I'll know. I'll take John Stones. I'm picking Akanji instead of John Stones. Okay, so coming to the midfield, it's surprising he's not been featuring Kevin De Bruyne on a regular basis. I don't know why, but probably he's not satisfied with his training performance or so. But coming to the midfield, Kovacic has solidified his team, is himself in the team of recent games. So I'm 100% sure he's going to feature as a starter. Bernardo Silva, of course, is going to feature. With the presence of Savino, Doku, Phil Foden, and all these guys, you still feel that Bernardo Silva is untouchable. He's a player, though his size is against him, but when he has the ball, what he does is Messi-esque, right? You get it, and it's he's someone you can't take out of your team at this point in time. Phil Foden is going to feature. Phil Foden is going to feature. Uh, I think Kevin De Bruyne might have a chance in this game to start. Then as usual, Ellen Haaland as the top man, yeah,
Rated.
leading the team of Man City. Zavino's Personally, I'll pick Doku over Zavino, but Zavino has proved himself also, though not consistent, but he's provided important assists in their recent games. So I'll pick him over Doku in this particular game. Coming to Madrid, I think the front four is certain. The likes of Mbappe, Vinicius, Jude Bellingham, and Rodrigo. That is certain. Um, in terms of our defense, we are lacking the likes of um, Dani Carvajal, Militao, Rudiger, and Alaba. So Asensio, this young kid has been sensational. I think I'll give him credit for his age. He's still he's still working hard and he's getting there. And I got the news just yesterday. The team is thinking of extending his contract. Giving him a big contract to improve his salary and motivate this guy to keep on playing for Madrid because he's promising. Tuchimeni improvised center back will be featuring for us, and I give him all the credits. I give him all the credits for a player to accept another role which he's not used to or he's not comfortable with. You have to give Tuchimeni a lot of credits. And if you watch Madrid games, he puts in a lot of efforts. He puts in a lot of effort. It's just those moments, some petty lacking moments that you know gets him out of position, but he's doing well for a center back or an improvised center back. Felamendi is back, so I see him starting for us on the left back, and Lucas Vasquez so far is also back from what I know, so he might show up on the right wing. Now, on the right back, as to the midfield, I already mentioned Bellingham. Ceballos, oof, he's been phenomenal. He's gaining the trust and the like of Ancelotti. So I'm 100% sure Ceballos is featuring in this match. Valverde, we already know, is a top player and can't be exempted in a match against a side like City. So it's likely Modric, though he featured in our previous match, and every time there's Modric, you feel there's some balance, and I think or some control of the game, and that is what we need in this game because if we leave the game in the hands of City, they will demolish us. But to give the benefit of doubt to we having younger to us to Ancelotti using younger players against a side that has a lot of speed also in the lights of their attack, I think he would want to go for Valverde and Ceballos running around in the midfield and Bellingham alongside Bellingham, preferably than Modric. I think later in the game when players are drained, the energy is not as it is or as it was at the start. That is where he brings in Modric, to control the game, and because at that time the game would go at his pace per his age. Let's remind ourselves he's 40 years old and still a quality player. I think teams will still pay for Modric to play for them, though he's of that age. That is the respect. And every time he shows on the pitch, away teams always rise and give him the applause he deserves. Standing ovation every time he features on the pitch. That is the amount of respect this guy has earned as a player in the world of football. Courtois are number one, and no doubt he's showing 100% in this game. Okay, so that's my lineup for both teams.
Yeah, so that's Nana Kwame lineup for both teams for sure. And now let's look at other stories. Weekends games were actually played. FA Cup happened in England, and there were a lot of surprises. Chelsea out of the competition, Liverpool out of the competition, and guess the team that actually knocked Liverpool out of the competition. Tottenham still shows their incapability, and Ange Postecoglou is threatened to be sacked as a Tottenham manager.
Is he
So,
not sacked already? I thought
well,
he should have been sacked right after the Brighton match or so,
He
or
even
Aston
came
Villa
out to
match.
say,
Sorry.
yeah, he
Eh,
even came out to say he normally wins trophies in his second season. Yeah,
so
so
according to the story, 2 hours ago, 90 minutes, he said Tottenham make fresh Ange Postecoglou sack decision after FA Cup exit. So it was a decision that was gonna take. So I'm not sure whether they have taken it or not. So let's see how this could happen for sure. But then let's see. Yesterday, I think okay, Liverpool game was yesterday against Plywood. Plywood knocking Liverpool out of this competition. Eddie, what do you make up of Liverpool? Because we all know this season they've not lost games that much. I think they only lost the Champions League final play against PSV
PSG.
Eindhoven, and also against the two games I could remember is PSV game and also against Nottingham Forest in Anfield. But for them to lost the game against Plymouth, was that not fishy, Eddie?
all right. So I don't think that game was fishy. I think sometimes it's due to how do you call it, complacency. Play, you were I think the manager or I think and his loss, was too relaxed in the game. He thought at least let me go with my second my team B players or the so-called junior players to play in this game. And mind you, it's an FA Cup, so the opponents are going to play against which is definitely also playing his first class player. Anytime this Premier League side playing against this I think championship sides, the League One teams, they always think, oh, we have the upper hand against them. But mind you, that those teams they have quality play, they have good players as well. So anytime you are playing against, we should be prepared. It's a game. You don't have to say, I'm playing this game, I'm playing this, I'm playing this. So let me use this play. Yesterday, if you watch the game, a lot of the senior players were missing. You know, and things were too late for them. After the game, they were so excited winning against Liverpool. You know, this is if you're talking one of the best clubs in I think in Europe. It's Liverpool. You know,
In fact, they
but
are the best club at the.
They are the
yeah,
best club, correct?
they are the best club so far. But what happened? They are out. So that's it. And if they are not lucky, the Champions League they might also be out again.
But
You know,
don't you think players that were supposed to prove themselves, player like Chiesa, who has not been getting the opportunity, came to Liverpool, had an injury or something like that, could not get himself into the lineup, was given an opportunity to play, but still, yeah, they couldn't get something out of it. Is it not a message to Anislot that he cannot trust his reserves?
actually, it's not about trusting your reserve. If you are not giving them the playing time, if you are not giving them the playing time or like the quality of time they want, you can't just give him just 20 minutes or 25 minutes for him to showcase his talent that he has. It's not going to work that way. You know, I think his first class of players, they've been playing among themselves for several games now. So they have the combination over there, you know. But you can't just fixing like any you pick one from the junior team, one from the senior team, one from let me say they go for training, they play together, But that connection won't be there. You can give them the information to play for you, you know. They will play in their best position, but the excellency, what you're looking for won't be there. They won't be able to deliver what you want for you.
So this means that maybe Arne Slot should be very, very adamant with his first 11 because in case there's
Yeah, of
an
course.
injury in there, he's going to
That's
work the
it.
team a lot.
That's exactly what you are. Yeah, that's exactly that.
So, Nana,
So, yeah, from
I don't know any Angie Postecoglou and Tottenham. I don't know. This was something that they actually needed to vindicate themselves after being knocking out in the FA Cup, EFL Cup semi-finals. It was something that they needed to prove. Going ahead, one goal aggregate, going to Anfield and go and then bottle it up. This was the time the players and the coach needed. Tottenham needed to vindicate themselves, but ended up losing or being exited by Newcastle United. What was it? It was Aston Villa, yeah?
Yeah,
It
Aston
was
Villa.
Aston Villa, yeah. That was when Marcus Rashford debut, and for sure. So, what do you make up
Yeah,
of
so
Tottenham and
before that, I
Annie?
would like to say a little bit about the Liverpool. I didn't agree with my brother Eddie because two things I picked from that match. It was clear that um the coach of Liverpool has set his priorities for this season, and I don't think the apart from probably the Premier League and the Champions League, I don't see him considering the other two FA Cup. And though yesterday, I had to check if really this match was an FA Cup because I was surprised at the lineup. Because even if there is something you are not going to really give your energy or fight for, I would say it's the EFL Cup because we all know the EFL Cup compared to the FA Cup is lower, of in terms of popularity and of um, worth. So I was surprised he brought that lineup. But on the other hand, I think try to put myself in his situation. I'm like, it wouldn't be worth risking it. It wouldn't be worth risking players to in a match where they were playing against a team that was down the table in the championship. It's just unfortunate that things didn't go. So basically, his reserve disappointed him because this was an opportunity for his reserve to prove their worth or to show what they are lacking, what is being lacked in the first lineup. And unfortunately, that wasn't what happened. Yeah, and yeah, so it's unfortunate for Liverpool, but I think the coach is trying to focus on the Premier League because this season, remind you, Salah made a statement that this season, what is on his mind, he would want to win the league far more than the Champions League. If you put the two cups before him, you see he misses winning the Premier League than the Champions League, and that is their goal, I guess. On the side of Postecoglou, it's unfortunate for this man. It's clear he's lost his tactical. I don't know how to describe it, but he's basically lost the dressing room of Tottenham United because when they come on the pitch, you don't see you don't see a team that is determined, a team that is willing to take and put things into control or take control of games or win games. So I was even surprised he was still the coach. I had to after the match that I had to check on my live score if who is currently the coach of or who is managing that team. I had to really check to confirm because and I was surprised. I was surprised. So for Tottenham, probably they are considering him. But if this should have been happening for a team like Manchester United, Chelsea, Man City, you are gone. Arsenal, you are gone. Especially Chelsea. Chelsea will sack you before you even dream of it.
No, that one Chelsea doesn't joke. He just give you a
Chelsea can
sack.
sack you just an hour even before the match, and you let for instance, one of the assistant coaches even coach that match. So it's a surprise for me that he's still a coach at Tottenham, but he's gotten in that match. He got Bentacore is back, but they don't have this striker of theirs. He's also not back. I've forgotten his name. And recently, also this guy is also got injured in one of the matches.
And they
The
just signed
Brazilian
a
guy.
striker as again Martin Stell from
Yeah, they
Bayern
signed
Munich.
Matistel, who scored
And was
yesterday
alone,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, but Matistel, one man can't change a team. You can only do much. You can score, but if your team is conceding and nullifying the goals, you can't do anything about it. So Postecoglou's days are numbered. That is the reality of the case. Don't be surprised after this live stream, he will be sacked and we'll have a new coach.
So don't
But
miss.
one thing
Uh-huh.
I've always been asking myself is, you know, with this Tottenham team, we've seen a lot of managers like within short period of years, they don't have. I think it's not now. I have begin asking myself, is it the
Mm-hmm.
fault or the tactics of the managers or the players? Because we've seen even more, like more than within the, as I said, short period of years, we've seen even more than four managers taking just Tottenham. You know, Mourinho came, it didn't work. You know, this Chelsea former coach,
Yeah,
what's the
I,
name?
I remember. I've also forgotten his name. Yeah, they've had a couple of coaches. They've
You
changed
know,
coaches for some time now.
No, I think their situation is all about the board and the mentality of the club. I don't think they are ready for any, because I could remember Mourinho actually was going to win a trophy for them, went to finals, and then they sacked him. He didn't even play in the finals. So, well, I don't know. Look at what's the name? Nunes. Nunes Desperito. Look at what he's doing in Nottingham Forest. But remember, they also sacked him. That he doesn't play beautiful football. He doesn't. What? There's a whole lot of story behind this football club,
yeah.
and I
So I
don't
think
just know.
if they don't sit down to find a solution to that, I think they will just be stuck. They will just go around. They will pick all the managers in Europe. They will coach Tottenham, and still Tottenham will still win whatever it is. It's sad. I think last week you were playing against Liverpool. I think in the league, the League Cup. Yeah, you had an advantage of the first leg by 1 goal to nil against Liverpool. And you came back in the second leg playing against with one goal there. They played as if they've never even played like a football before. So when I was like, nah, this Tottenham team that we see is beyond repairs. And you see yesterday too against Aston Villa, you've lost against Aston Villa. So definitely you are out of I think two competitions. Definitely you're not winning the Premier League. So that's automatically you are trophyless for another season again. And we are now plan of sacking your manager. The next manager is not also coming so immediately to win you the Premier League or to win in league as well. So let's play them as even play in the top or conference league or any like get a better position in the league so that the next manager will at least get a trophy or anything to play for.
Hmm. It's going
Yeah.
to be it's going to be serious for Tottenham for sure. But I don't know. I don't know. But then one thing you should also understand is Aston Villa. Marcus Rashford's social media message after the first non-Man United game exceed 700,000 or 700K likes. That was his first game, his first competitive game aside from like playing for Manchester United. Eddie, as United fan, what do you feel about his performance yesterday?
I basically I went to watch the game because of Marcus Rashford. He has gone through a lot. He has gone through a lot. He has lost that. I think that's feeling playing a football. Back in Manchester United before those days under Ole, things were good for him. He was getting the playing time. Rashford was here, there, here, up and there. But it goes to a point. He lost his form. You know, he wasn't that much of a player that we used to know. Get a throw and all these other players came into light. So he lost that position. So it was a whole lot. He was going through like psychological, and also with Amorim it was a whole lot. But for him to, I think, get a club which he will get a playing time, I think after I think the loan deal, he came out to say a lot of clubs contacted him, but he was interested in the project of Aston Villa. And true, he went. Even in the game, he anytime he gets the ball, he was like direct. Getting involved. Trying to get like a goal or something like that. It didn't work that way. But I think yesterday he was happy, and I think not even that I think a couple of the players, like even Sancho, even I think made a threat or something like that, which he also responded that he's back on the field. So I think he's good. So if he plays good, he come back to Manchester United after the loan. So that's going to benefit us. So I just wish him all over there.
Stop thinking like Manchester United. Stop thinking like Manchester United.
Ah,
Nana,
it's a loan. It's a
yeah,
loan. It's a loan.
it's a loan. It's
So
a
if he
loan.
plays good, he's coming back.
Nana,
That's it.
Nana, do you think he's going to come back in Manchester for Manchester United, or he will come back to Manchester United and play
I think it will depend on Amorim because it's clear that Amorim wasn't happy
with him?
uh, with him, probably due to from conversations or interviews players in the team have given about Manchester United or about Amorim. He's not only concerned about your performance on the pitch or in training session. He also checks on your way of life or your style of life, which is outside the pitch. So, and I agree with him treating the players like that because Manchester United have gone through a lot, also switching coaches from interim to assistant to whatever you can call it, and it's they are struggling. So they have to find a way to instill discipline. I think that is what is lacking, and that is what Amorim is trying to enforce to put some level of discipline in the players. And I think he wasn't satisfied with the attitude of um, um, Marcus Rashford, whether in training or out of training. He didn't really specify, but he made a statement in the sense that he even checks what you eat or even how you even interact with the canteen members, your relationship with people outside. And psychologically, to some extent, I agree with him on the stance that your way of life outside the pitch can clearly also affect your
Exactly,
performance on
exactly.
the
Yeah,
pitch.
and
So Amorim if he goes to Aston Villa and he performs really well, but Amorim feels that if he comes to Man United and he's still going to be lackadaisical or show some attitude which he doesn't want a player to show, or how he wants Marcus Rashford to play for him or to understand his game, he's not understanding, or because these are the things Amorim used to say or is saying that he's trying to teach Marcus Rashford his way of playing or how the game should be played in the right way. But it seems Marcus Rashford is not agreeing to him on that level. So if only he feels that can happen, then he might allow him to come back. But it wouldn't depend on him performing well. If he performs well, it still has to come to Amorim to decide if he would want him back
you still need to
because
come to.
Amorim is moving forward now onwards because he's trying to get his team, get players in the team that fit the system. He has made it clear he's not changing his system for nobody. He believes in this system, he believes it works. So he just wants the players that will suit his style of play. And that's what he's working on.
Okay, so that is what he's working on. And before we move to Liverpool, we're talking about Matistel. I just got a message that Matistel sends reassurance to Tottenham message as form of slums continues. So do you think Matistel can change anything, Eddie?
No, it entails a lot for Tottenham. I think since they lost the caliber of Hurricane, they left Hurricane to go. And now Salah. I think I said Salah. Son, although he tried his best with Madison, but I think things are not still working for them. Even they brought in, what do you call it, Solanke or so, but still things are still not working for them. So they have to be that connection. Since they've gotten for that player, I think you are even calling him. I don't even know. So there has to be that connection. The style of play. They have to build the things together. Like before, Harry Kane and I think so. This connection. One is assist if they are to score two goals in the game. Either one is assisting the other, one is assisting the like anyway, vice versa.
Mhm.
So that connection has to be there. But now, Son has always been trying his best to probably carry my Tottenham on his shoulders, but one man he can't do anything, he can't do everything alone. And now, so as I said, Solanke has also been inconsistent. He gave you a goal today, tomorrow he give you one, then he will be silent for I think 5 or 6 games. You know, But I wish him well. I wish him well since he's happy to come to Tottenham at this point in time. We wish him all the best. We want to. better players in the league as well. We want the league to be competitive, not only Man City, Manchester United, Chelsea, and yeah, we wish him well.
We wish him
Yeah.
well. Nana, I think we've already talked about Liverpool game, so I think I'm going for this news that actually trending everywhere for sure. It's about Dortmund. Dortmund actually a poor performance in the season, but then their captain, is it Khan? American said he think the Champions League will actually boost them to come back into the season. But then they are going away to play Sporting CP in the round of 32 games. Do you think it's something that can bring them back? Because I know vividly, even the Champions League, I don't see them the way I was expecting them this season.
Do you remember last season Champions League?
Yeah, finals. They
Which
went on
which
final.
which
They
of
went to
us
finals.
ever thought when the season began that Dortmund will be in the final? They were it was never close in our head, not even in our dreams. None of us. It was a
No.
surprise to the footballing world. None of us, even when they got to the semi-finals, you still wouldn't tip them to get to the finals. That's why I'm saying that the Champions League is a league of surprises. It has no respect of forms. Your form means nothing in terms of your form in your domestic league because teams come into the Champions League and I don't know, it awakens something, some spirit or some probably some capabilities within them that I don't know for what reason they can't show in their domestic league, but they prove in the Champions League. So I'll give him that benefit of the doubt that yes, their Champions League performance can awaken them to perform in their domestic league because we saw something of that sort. Last season, they weren't in the best of form as well, but they went to the Champions League final and they were this close to winning it because we could, if you also remember, in that game, in the first 30 minutes, it was all Dortmund and it was chances, it was really big chances, which if they had converted would have been a different story altogether. So in American as the captain of the team, say making such a statement, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt that yes, that is very possible, and that is the nature of the Champions League. So I agree with him. It is very possible.
Hmm. It is very, very possible. Let's see. And there was a fresh news actually coming on for sure. Eddie, the likes of Liverpool and us, we know Everton and Liverpool still have an outstanding match. The rearrangement final derby at Goodison Park. You know, they are going to play it. And then
Mm.
Everton, sure, Everton, we know they have also boosted this time round. Their form is back. Their last 5 games, they've won 3, lose 2, and Liverpool to the last 5 games they've played, they lost 2. And this game is will be one of the games that will be deciding their stay or their Champions League. And I said that they are Premier League title contenders. I think this game is part of the game that should be changing Liverpool destiny this season. What do you make up of that game coming on against Liverpool in Goodison Park?
This game will be very, very tough for Liverpool. Let's be frank. Supposing they could have played, they had played the game earlier on, it could have been a done deal for them. That time they were in form. But now, anytime you have a game at hand and playing against a team who is trying to also build something, it becomes very, very difficult for you to win again or to play against. Because now a lot of things are at risk. If you have now they have everything to play for. Liverpool have everything to play for. That yeah. But if they lose the game, their title win is at risk. And Everton now, as let me say, the underdogs order, so will probably try all their possible best. Those will win the game to continue their winning streak or to continue their inform. So now it is going to be difficult for Liverpool. It's going to be very, very difficult for Liverpool. If they play the same thing, I think they did. I think they did in this FA Cup also. Then it will be. Well, I think Liverpool even had like the chance to increase the tally. but due to their laws and petty mistakes, they started committing like Arsenal. They started dropping points, and if care is not taken, there will be a point where like it will be like I think a goal difference or a point difference, which will be very difficult for them. So in this game, I think all I would say is they should go in to probably win the game if they have the force or they have the mentality to win the league. They should be able to win this game. If not, then I can assure you, if Liverpool is not able to win the game against Everton, then mark my words, they won't be able to win the title this season.
Wow. They won't
Yeah.
be able to win the title this season. That's so harsh.
No, it's
But
not hard. If they're not able to win the game,
Um,
because now it's like only 6 points difference, yeah?
uh-huh.
It's only 6 points difference. So if they're able
mm,
to win this game, to increase it to 9, because now we are done with half of the
yes,
season.
and they are
And now we
winning.
are we are headed towards the end of the season. So this is the time you have to increase the tally because just 6 points is just 2 games. You know that it's 2 games. So if you are not able to increase it to 9, that's 3 games, and you lose again. That means only 3 points. It will be very, very difficult for you to come back and win the game. So if they're able to win the game against Everton, Mike
Yeah.
Marwes, they won't be able to win the title this
So,
season.
so I also assure you they are going to win against Everton, and it's even going to be as easier than you thought. The reason being that is why they rested players for an FA Cup match. Can you imagine? They brought in their reserve players. The team was full of reserve players for an FA Cup match. And we know the importance of an FA Cup match. FA Cup match is also a big match. It's more like it's more like it is the Copa del Rey of English Premier League. It is the Coupe de France of Ligue 1. It is the Coppa Italia of Italian
Of
League.
Italy, yeah, Italian league.
So FA Cup is really important. But this coach decided to rest his players for an FA Cup match, and he paid for it. And all the question is, why did he rest these players? Because he wanted his aim is actually to win the Premier League this season, and that is their target. So resting the players for that match, it will pay off in Everton match, and I believe strongly they'll walk over Everton.
They walk over Everton. Wow. So, to your surprise, the FA Cup next round has been drawn. And Plywood, who has overtaken Liverpool, who take Liverpool out
Plymouth.
of the competition. Yeah, Plymouth, sorry. Plymouth, who take Liverpool out of the competition, has been drawn against Manchester City. Nana, are they not lucky or the FA just want to get an
This is so
exciting
not
game?
fair. This is so not fair. This is so not fair. So yeah, it's unfortunate for Plymouth. I don't think they really did any outstanding performance against Liverpool actually, because I watched the match not
A
fully,
penalty.
but I think
Their goal was even a penalty. To be frank with you, it was even
exactly,
a penalty.
No,
exactly.
but the fact is
And
they
you
had a goal and they were able to defend it till the end.
Liverpool hit the post a couple of times, and I think it was just not much luck on the side of Liverpool, because with their reserve team, they should have been able to beat Plymouth, but they started the game slow. It's like they wanted to calm down because FA Cup is more of it's not like they basically started the game slow. So they allowed Plymouth to get into the game or build confidence in the game. Instantly you have to impose fear in the team such that when they hold the ball, they're even afraid to to progress in their attack. But they relaxed, were playing around with the ball, and they managed to concede the penalty, and they couldn't recover from that. And Plymouth felt like they had won the Champions League or the World Cup, and they are going to pay for it against Man City,
Manchester,
because
then it's going to be in the Etihad Stadium
Man City is going to unleash against them, and
against them,
probably
because if City lost this Champions League game against Real Madrid, then they are in trouble.
and don't be surprised Omar Mamouche might get his first goal against, or a couple of goals against.
But I think Pep Guardiola will also do the same by benching a lot of players against this team.
Pep Guardiola is not. he will do that in FA in EFL Cup, but not in FA Cup. Pep Guardiola in FA Cup at least presents half of his
Okay.
starting players. You
Your
know,
man is here. Yeah.
at least half of his starting players. But Pep Guardiola to for him to bring out more than half or 70% or 80%, no, not even 80% or 85% of his starting players, meaning that the match is so not, they don't have to win or they don't, but Pep Guardiola, at least 50% of it, even if you don't start anyone, he always starts Haaland in all these small, small matches. He always puts Haaland in. Yeah.
Okay. So I know Eddie is not gonna like this, but then it is what it is. You know, United at home
Actually,
this season.
we only listen, we don't judge. We only listen.
Eh?
We only listen.
One thing about Man United. You know Mark Goldbridge from the United stand.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Mark Goldbridge,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
He's saying that Man U is going to win FA Cup this season. He also
No,
saying that Man U is going to win, I
but,
think,
but,
Europa this
but
season.
the interesting thing is that they've drawn against Fulham. Fulham who won in Manchester United in Old Trafford this season against United. Now you are Eddie, you are hosting Fulham again. What do you make up of that tie? I don't know whether the FA just do it like willingly or maybe it was just fortunate that you are meeting them again because they know that facing Fulham is always a difficult task for United.
That's one. That's what I think they would think, or we would think that since they won against us in the league, definitely they have the upper hand in like over Manchester United. But this time around, things will be different. This time around we don't talk too much. We are just going through actions. We are just going through actions in the game. Just watch out and see. It's going to be a straight win for Manchester United. Yeah,
But
but
Mhm.
that's it's not going to be an easy task. It's not going to be an easy task for Manchester United, as you know, because anytime you are playing against, I think Crystal Palace, Wolves, Fulham, Bournemouth, but United find it very, very difficult to win against such clubs. But in case, let me say, let's bring Liverpool on board, let's bring Man City on board, let's bring Chelsea on board.
Yeah,
They
then you
will
see
play
them.
their heart
Yeah,
out, they will play their blood out to win
exactly.
the game.
That is
But
United's problem. I don't know.
the games that you need the points, playing against such clubs to pick up the points, that's sometimes they even forget picking 1 point, 2 points, 3 points. That's at the end of the season, you have points, but losing such games, and win against the best club, then there you say, oh, I think I won against Liverpool, I won against Manchester City, I won against, you
It means
know,
nothing.
it
Yeah.
means nothing. So I hope they will understand and probably win against Fulham in this time round and probably proceed further. Because if not, now there's no way we are winning the champions. We are winning the Premier League this season.
Okay, there's no
In
way we.
Europa is also something different because now, although we are in a good, comfortable position, I think we are the only club who went without, I think, a loss or that. So, but now your opponents, you don't also know the other opponents whether you
Eddie,
are
you
going to
are
be able
not
to
the
win.
only team that go to Europa without a lot. Chelsea took the competition 2 times without losing.
Yeah, yeah, I know that, but now it's for buy. We are talking of what is at
Oh,
the
you are talking
moment.
now. And so when you are be specific, this current
I
league.
think now that's what we are talking about. So I
Okay,
mean, at the moment, you
okay,
know,
okay, okay.
yeah. So at our opponent next, we don't know whether we might even proceed or win the Europa. It's also at hand. So I think the one we have at the moment, we should focus on that. When that, then I think the next game will take care of itself. So yeah.
Yeah, the next game will take care of itself.
I think.
Nana,
Mhm.
or you want to say something?
Yeah, I would say that per the previous matches between Man United and Fulham, I think Man United have good results. They've had good results this season in 2 matches, home and away, against Fulham. They won one home, one away, and 1-0 also at home. So I think they should be able to handle that game. Yeah.
They should be able to handle that game for sure. But Nana, this one was coming to you. Priske, and his lost successor in Feyenoord has been sacked. Do you what actually happened? Do you maybe the expectations were not actually coming as the way Anislot was performing at Feyenoord, or maybe it's just something else? I want your opinion on that.
Yeah, also Slot set the standard high for any coach that was coming next after his transfer. He was called on to Liverpool because of his performance in Feyenoord, and in his time there, he really used the team to their best of capability. Santiago Gimenez, who now is has been transferred to AC Milan. You don't know if you guys know of their top striker, their main striker, has been transferred now to AC Milan, and Morata is now in I think Fenerbahce or Galatasaray. One of them I've forgotten. Yeah, I think Galatasaray. Morata now is in Galatasaray, or he's in the Turkish league. I've forgotten where actually is. So their coach couldn't meet the standard with someone set. Imagine Guardiola with what Guardiola has done with City, and they have another coach, and he comes and he doesn't meet the standards. Or when you're a coach and you're coming after Guardiola to City, even regardless of the recent performance of City, you realize that there's a lot of tax, or there's something big for you to achieve to impress the management that you are the man for the job. So Feyenoord they've been poor actually this season, allowing the likes of Ajax, PSV to to dominate them or to lead or the table up in the ranking. Even Al's Kamar and also Utrecht is also even performing better than Feyenoord, and for that reason, they have to do away with their coach and find someone to meet the performances they were providing in the last, I'll say, 4 or 5 seasons.
Wow. So this I think a lot of these things are actually coming in. And I don't know. Maybe I, I don't know whether this news coming in is actually true for Manchester United. Eddie, it looks like Manchester United is targeting Baldi for Barcelona. That if he's a defender, yeah, or a midfielder. I think he's a defender, Baldi. What do you make up of that guy and then Manchester? Because I think United have a lot of defenders to actually go in for such a. Even though he's doing quite very well, I think he's a left back. Yeah, he's a left back or right back. I can't quite remember, but I know he's a defender for Barcelona, and it looks like Manchester United are targeting him for the summer. And not only Manchester United, I think Barcelona also plot mega Liverpool swap deal with the player. So they want to also swap him with another player in Liverpool. That is this guy, Diaz, Luis Diaz. They want to swap him with maybe Baldi and Frank de Jong for Luis Diaz. So I don't know how this is gonna work out. But Eddie, what do you make up of in case it is true? What would he change in Manchester United team?
All right, since I think we all know that since Amarin came, he has been he has been in control for a couple of I think games now. They've got more than over I think more than 15 or more than 15 games so far. So he has already assessed the style of play and also the style of play from the players, and now he has to also get in players which are going to fit into his style of play. So if there in case of any manager, or that any appointment, he has a couple of players he will call out their names for me to try to get them. And since he has a say in I think the transfer news or the transfer market players coming into Manchester United. If he's interested in Bardi, I think he will definitely try and everything to get him. Then we will see how things will probably work for him and the players as well. For we the fans, sometimes although we have say, or we the supporters, sometimes we have say. But if the manager is interested in the player, he can't prevent him. If things goes wrong, he will say, "Oh, I wanted this player, but you didn't allow me to go in for the player." So he will start blaming the staffs and everything. So now, if any player names pops up, it might be rumor and there might be a little bit truth. So now let's just wait and see if it goes through. Then we will probably talk about it very much.
And then the last two, this thing will go before we end because today I don't want us to go through the 2 hours because today is our first time, and also maybe the time has already gone before we actually started. But then, Eddie, Barcelona this weekend
Mhm.
against Sevilla, Madrid hopes were that Barcelona should draw that game so that the points will still be so much between both clubs. But then Barcelona ended up winning it by 4 goals to 1. I think you predicted it and you said Barcelona will win, but then you don't want to give them a win. You give goals on that game. But
Yeah,
then
and
it's
all
really,
and kudos to all our top
yeah,
five
our
picks
top
went
five,
through.
yeah, yeah. All the
Everything
top
went
five
through.
enter, and we didn't even take it. This is the second time our top five is entering. No, this is the second
Really?
time, but we don't bet. Eddie, what's
Yeah.
up?
Yeah, it's no good.
If
Betting is no good.
We have to start betting on them.
yeah,
Sometimes
yeah, we have to
we will
start. We
just
have
give,
to start.
we will just give them out without doing anything about it. So,
This is the second time that our best five is coming out.
Hmm.
all
Yeah,
right.
no.
So, okay, Senara Kwame, just carry on with this Barcelona issues. Wahala
Okay.
about the Wahala. I will just come in later.
Yeah. I just want to say yesterday I watched the match and as you are saying, I didn't want them to win. I
I
didn't
knew it. I
want
knew
them
it.
to. That was my focus throughout the match. I didn't want them to win. So actually, when they scored the first goal and Sevilla responded, I was like, yes, this is
Come
it.
on, Sevilla.
You
Come on,
know,
Sevilla.
come on, Sevilla, you get it. I was behind them so bad. But discouragingly, just early into the second half, Pedri with a fantastic lob to how do you call it? This young upcoming guy, and he put it in the back of the net, and that was all for because um I think it's surprising for me for Barca that this
That was
high
prepared.
line, yeah, this high line defensive strategy, teams are not able to capitalize on it. For me, it's really surprising. They are beating, they have the highest offside this season in all of football because of this offside trap they keep setting. And I think it's
The
breakable.
Highland player.
Yeah,
Hmm,
it's
hmm.
really breakable. I think teams should find a way to work on that. And if anyone that I trust could have breaking that high line, it's Madrid. But Madrid comes up against this same high line twice or thrice this season, and we get trashed, unfortunately.
No, but I think what's the team name? This Portugal team. What's the name, Crown?
Porto or
No,
Sporting,
not FC Porto. The other one,
Sporting
not Sporting.
or Benfica, yeah.
Benfica.
True.
Benfica. Look, Benfica actually break their high line. They were not just.
It was top notch.
It was top notch. Just within some few minutes in the game, Benfica just trashed Barcelona 2 goals,
Top
and
notch.
and it wow.
And that
Benfica
tells
was
you
not
that tells
lucky in
you
that game.
that tells you that high line, is something rare that coaches go for. It's
Yeah,
very rare because it is dangerous. One person, mistake of just one person is
Yeah.
is it would spoil the trap. yesterday the goal from Sevilla was because of the mistake of, I think, Avaro or some Avayo, this
Have
guy, or Martinez, one of them. Just slight movement, delay movement when everyone is deciding to move in away to
Yeah,
create the trap. Just one person delays spoils the trap. And if players, more than two players or three players, make a run, when they get into the run, let's take it two players are offside, one is not. When they make a run, they can stop and let the person who is not offside get the ball. Then you are back into the
yeah.
game, and someone else can score. So
Then
it's
the play,
something that is
play,
really
play
great about football.
continues.
I wasn't
yeah.
surprised when Benfica did that. So I don't know why a team like Real Madrid with
No,
speedsters,
no. With the highline, it's very risky kind of tactics.
yeah,
Because when you are playing high line, your main focus is to just press your team on their
team
half yard.
exactly,
You could even remember when they are playing the high line, even they play it up to even the center line.
yeah.
And they use the
Not even
center
they
line to
play.
even
That is what
set
they do
offside
always.
trap.
Mm-hmm.
That is always what they
And
do.
one thing, the only thing that can break the high line is long passes. You need to play them long balls, and you need to make your attackers just be on the defenders.
On the alert.
So when
Mm-hmm.
they loop the ball, you have people that can run.
Right.
But the only thing is that the time Madrid, I don't know. You have the likes of Mbappe, you have the likes of Vinicius Junior, who all of them have speed, and not to talk of Rodrigo. But yet you face a team who are playing the high line, then you still fumble, you still
Yes,
don't give
we
it
can't even
on.
capitalize.
And so
And it's
I
sad.
was just
I'll
surprised.
blame Mbappe a little because, not a little, but mostly because this guy, he doesn't, when he's reading, he doesn't read offside trap. It's not just against Barca. I've studied him since he came to Madrid. If there's a player who is always in offside, it's Mbappe.
It's
He has the
well,
most offsides in Madrid. He doesn't read his movement according to the player closest to him. So he's always been caught in offside. And that's the same thing he was just doing against Barcelona. You know, these people are trying to play offside trap. So when you are moving, be at
No,
least aware of. But
you
anytime
know,
he's just running into the space.
you can't blame him because this is his first season in La Liga. So unless he sit back pre-season, watch his games and try to correct himself in certain things. Because one thing, when you get used of certain things, because when you look at French League One, the way they play, they don't
Totally
play.
different. Yeah.
And for him, it's always the runs that make him. He start the running, then you pass
Yeah.
it. So the moment he start the running and you delay the ball a little bit, he's going to be
Offside.
offside.
Exactly.
So sometimes the chemistry between both teams is still
Yeah.
a problem.
Yeah.
And so as time goes on, when they get acquainted, Madrid is going to be one of the best attacking team that you will ever see.
100%.
Just that right now,
100%.
no, they are not
Yeah, they
actually
are trying, they
getting
are still figuring it
the
out. Yeah.
gelling is not actually in there yet. But
Hmm.
let's give them 1 or 2 seasons more, and then you could see what they can do. Maybe by
That
then,
will be a
Bramco,
firepower
we
to
don't know
watch
whether
out for.
Ancelotti will still be there for Real Madrid.
Yeah,
But
that's what
so
will be
let's
unfortunate.
see how it's going. But then Real Madrid drew in their game, but where we're expecting them to
Madrid
win a
derby.
derby. Yeah, the Madrid derby against Atletico de Madrid. They drew 1-1. And it was something that I actually didn't get because this is a game, win it and open the gap. Because this is one of the game that you need to win in order to win the title. Even though the title race is not still lost for Madrid, but then losing this game was a lot for Madrid to bear. How were you feeling as Madrid fan?
Um, I wouldn't say disappointed because per the situation with our
And
defense.
I think after this one, we will be ending, we'll be going
Okay,
because
okay.
time,
So
yeah.
I wouldn't say disappointed, but I think Madrid was also treated unfairly. And this is coming after the issue of Madrid tweeting or sending a message to the La Liga referee or the La Liga president or whatever, talking about allegations or the penalty that was not called for Mbappe, or all those allegations coming after these allegations, and La Liga president lashing out at Madrid that this is unprofessional and all that. We come to a match. I don't know if you guys watched the match or watch highlights. There was a penalty given to Atletico, and
Yeah.
everyone is saying this is not a penalty. Not one single person. You can check all pundits, on ESPN, all the footballing discussion platforms. Everyone. And clearly, this is not a penalty, but this was what drew the match for Atletico. And it's unfortunate that it had to come to such a situation after Madrid feeling that they are being what conspired against. Then you have another situation like this. What else do you want Madrid to do? So
We
to in
want them
terms
to
of
play to
perform,
prove us wrong.
yeah, but if we are playing, if you're making effort to play, and how we are playing, you use the effort we are making to against us, then we can't make any progress. So that is the situation Madrid is. I wouldn't say Madrid did well. Like Madrid tried their best in that game to our capability, and we could have won that game. Though, let's not mind, our defense was shitty. So definitely Atletico had their chances, which if they had taken, they could have buried the game. It could have been more than two goals. Atletico could easily in that game could have scored 3 goals, and that would silence us because our defense, as I keep complaining, is not the best at the moment. But aside that, being lucky or the footballing gods working on our side to for Atletico not to score these goals, we considered a penalty that was shouldn't have been a penalty. If not for that penalty, I think Madrid could have gone swept away with that 1-0 goal. Yeah, though
Eddie,
Madrid has a lot of room to perform. Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand you got a soft spot for Real Madrid. So
Oh,
how
no,
are you
no.
feeling
But
of
now I think their against has been too much concerning Madrid and penalties. After the incident, they treated that like 10 against 1. That's 10 in favor of Madrid, one against Madrid, and now they are complaining about if it's a penalty difference. You should go for the penalty. Don't be like since it's Madrid. You don't want to give them the penalty.
Yeah,
But
it's
like
unfortunate.
some silly
may,
excuse.
maybe the referee was doing the weekend the ball I went and play. My referee Ziggy. He said that's his first time. Next time I will take the foul.
That
So maybe that's what La Liga
that would be
referees are doing.
outrageous.
No, sometimes such petty mistakes hurt a lot. Once
Yeah,
like for instance in the final, and you have a penalty and the referee don't go for the penalty and you lose the game. That's it. Maybe you might not even reach the finals again.
Exactly.
Some mistakes are very very like you don't know.
They are unpardonable.
Yeah, that's it. So they have to stick to. But Madrid, I think they are good. They will be able to find their way out. I think Barcelona will be able to win the title this season. Yeah, it's Madrid winning the season again. Yeah.
Yeah, I
are you
believe so
sure of
too.
that?
Yeah, I
Actually,
believe so too.
whatever I say, just mark my words. You will come back and discuss about that at the end of the season.
Well, the petitions we did at the FA Cup, the weekend is what actually everything actually the five top best that we give everything actually go on. But just that I don't know how the investors will be feeling that maybe that was why I said to you at the end, you two, we didn't actually go in to do it. And guys, I think this time round, I think this is the end of the session. And hey, if you just join us and you are new, hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And hey, this will be coming to you time and time. And every Monday, we'll provide a time to actually give you the best soccer news that you could ever listen. And then if you are new, hit the subscription button, like and share the video. And hey, your opinions are highly welcome. Let's know your opinion. What do you think about this session? Because as I said, it will be coming to you every Mondays for sure. And hey, if you just join us, remember to like and share, be part of this amazing community. We cannot do much. The only thing you need to do is join us. Let's build this community together. See you in the next video. Ciao. Let's rumble.
So if you hear you all